Good evening guys and welcome to another video. We're proper chugging through these installs lately and I'm kind of enjoying it, I'm not gonna lie. You join me in on an evening midweek this time instead of being on a weekend. Obviously the sun's out, it's out for longer. I've just dropped what we're installing out of its bag. 1 minute. I've got it between my knees and the bag's just emptied. Great. Yeah, back to what I was saying. This is probably going to be a video that was recorded before Mims but edited after I edited the Mims video, because obviously I want to get that video out as fast as I can. I don't need to explain it, you've already seen it. But this is going to be the install of the Polybush engine mount inserts for today. Now, if you've never heard about these before, what they basically are for is you'll have 3 engine mounts that the engine obviously mounts to the chassis of the car. All of these will have rubber bushings in them with kind of gaps in them, a little bit of give as well, so that when the engine vibrates it absorbs that and doesn't transmit it through the rest of the car. The good sides of that is you got quite a comfy ride, no vibrations in the cabin, that kind of thing. The downside is the engine does move around a little bit, and all the engine is attached to is the gearbox, which means the gearbox moves around a little bit. So it should help all in all with rigidity and, fingers crossed, gear selection as well, because you've not got an engine that's jerking to and fro as you're going on and off revs full throttle, putting the clutch in, back on, clutch in, that kind of thing. So that's what we're going to do. I have been told there is a lot of vibration, car wise, not engine wise, once they're in. They're not Polybush replacements, so they're not like really heavy duty. But after about a month or so of normal driving, they should settle in, the car doesn't vibrate as much, but the engine still stays solid as a rock. So the under tray is already off from previous videos, because I'm just doing this all at once pretty much. And it's already on jack stands, so I'll make you under there. Now obviously, all the tension of the engine being suspended is on the mounts that we're going to remove. So we're going to do them one at a time. But what I'm also thinking of doing is, I'll use the jack, since the car's on both an axle stands on the 2 fronts. It's probably found without this, but I'm just going to do it for peace of mind. Just got a piece of wood that I'm going to put there, and then I'm going to come out of here and jack up the sump of the engine, so it's got a nice distributed base of pressure, and it's just going to take a little bit of tension off the mounts. There we go. So when it comes to the engine mounts, it looks to me like you've got 3 places to go to. You've got this one here, which is probably going to be the easiest to remove, because you've got a couple of bolts here, a bolt straight through there, and then hopefully we can wangle that out, pop them in, pop it back on. If you look, this is the front of the car. If you look from under here, you can see there's one straight away here on the front. So that is a bolt here, a bolt up top, just above it, as you can see in the center of the screen there. There's another one on the other side of that, and then it looks to me like you've got a bolt with a nut that goes straight through the bushing right there that we're going to need to try and take off. That looks like the most difficult. But then at the back of the engine you've got this one here, where you've got a bolt on either side, one on that side, one on the other, goes across. You've got a bolt through that brace, there's like a hole on purpose so you can get to that bolt, take that one out, and that one should come out easy. So this front one should be the most difficult, but so we'll do the top one first, which looks like the easiest. So these 3 are all 17 mils. Popped an extension on to see if the gun works. Yep. I'm not gonna lie guys, I'm a bit nervous about this. Well, I were anyway. I'm taking off the thing that holds the engine in place. That's that bolt. That's that bolt. I'm hoping something isn't gonna fall underneath. Let's have a feel. We'll find out, won't we? And I think whatever's underneath it is held in place. Loosely, but held in place. Yeah, it's not going anywhere, and if it does, it'll probably fall straight to the ground. Well, that's quite a long bolt. Keep your washer safe, pull out your bushing. Got a bit of brake cleaner on there from when my dad squirted the clutch reservoir. Should fit under there. There we go. And that's your first mount. Yeah, that's definitely a bracket that just stays in place, I think, with a nut underneath it. Yeah, so that'll be fine. So now that the mount is actually out, we can think about actually putting Polybush inserts in. Now, oh, there's an ant in the way, come on. In this mount there's actually a little insert that Honda put in. Doesn't really do much. I'm guessing it was to make it a little bit stiffer, but it's not good enough. So we are going to pop some mounts in ourselves. Now, I think there's 4 that look like this, and there's 2 that look like this. Now, looking at this, I'm not sure which one actually goes into it. I don't think it's this one. Doesn't seem to. That's definitely not going to go in there. It looks more like this. Yeah. So that easily finds its place, but it's quite difficult to actually squeeze in. You put a little bit of like lubrication, a bit of powder on there, but nothing amazing. So a good tip, people use washing up liquid, but what I'm going to do is I've got washing up liquid with, well, high concentrated in a bit of water. Fingers crossed that should be enough lubrication to slip it in. We'll find out. Get it all slippery. Trying. It's not enough. If it doesn't work, I will have to just use neat washing up liquid. Ow, that was my hand. Oh my god, that hurt. Okay, so I'm just popping it back in. You can, if you want to, remove this bolt here, and it should give you a bit more flexibility with this line. But if you are careful, you can wangle it around with the belt and that hard line, and you can get it in there. It's just a case of now, can we get it in the actual mounting position? That's what I'm worried about. I'll have to get a bit of washing up liquid down here and all. Let's find out. Okay, so if you can get it to a point where it's nearly there, I've just got an old flat blade here. And it's pulling it in. Thank God. Yeah, so my guidance for the next one is make sure that they are in as far as they can go, and properly lubricate the area that it's going in as well, as much as you can. That looks pretty central to me. I think it's found the nut as well, which is good. So leave it loose, because these don't look 100% bang on. Maybe as we tighten these up, it'll pull it a bit further in place. Don't advise doing this because it's probably bad for the threads that's going to be going through, but it's definitely nudging it. Okay, so that's them in place. I've just been going through the forums and found the total specs for this. So I think it said 47 foot-pound, which in Newton meters is about 67. But quick Google, you'll double check. If I remember, I'll pop the link where I found them for you in the description. Right, it's actually the next day now, and I'm going into GoPro mode to try and make it a bit easier to get stuff done at a higher pace. And obviously it's quite difficult with really a massive DSLR camera. So I had a bit of a tester on a few of the bolts that we were doing. Oh, 1 second, pop this ceiling light on. I love this lamp. I've told you in other videos, but look, it's just stick that on jack there, angle that up. That's what we're tackling next. There is some here, the ones at the front. I was struggling quite a bit with, so we'll do that last. We'll do these first. I used a gun. I tried to use a gun on some of these, and it weren't strong enough, mine. So I've got a breaker bar on this bolt here, one behind it. I ain't done yet, but I can do that on the other side of the car. And then the one that goes up and into the brace here. So that now is loose enough so that I can just slacken it off. And because we've got the jack under the sump, the engine shouldn't go anywhere. That's the main thing. I hate supporting my head under here, my neck's killing. That's out, okay. Right, so the wheels had to come off, unfortunately, so I can get a good enough angle in. I don't know if you can see it through there. That's where the bolt is, and I've got the breaker bar here, so hopefully there's enough room and I don't damage anything to, well, try not to punch myself in the face. That would be a start. Yeah, that's it, that'll be enough. Now let's try it with a ratchet. Pretty good. Oh, that's like finger loose now. Oh, so it's one more. At least I've got a bit more room under here now. Oh, it's on the other side, isn't it? For goodness sake. Yeah, that's it. Come on. Okay. That's all the bolts out, so I'm going to take this out. I'm going to clean all the areas up so that it's easy for it to slide in, and then we'll get the inserts in this one. We'll start sliding it back into place. I will say having this jacked up a little bit helped to wangle this out, and I don't know if you can see, but there's like a rounded edge and a square edge. You want the rounded edge to be closest to you, so to the passenger side of the car. Another way of thinking about it is you got these two little dots on top as well. They haven't got on the bottom, so yeah, facing up. Okay, I absolutely lathered them in just neat washing up liquid this time, and it just they both went straight in, no pressure needed. So that's something to keep in mind. Now I'm just going to do the same again when it comes to sliding them in. So it's like slime, but we need it like that for it to work. And then rub a bit on where it's going as well. Still tight, but we might still be able to do it. I can't bend it because it's too stiff. What am I meant to do here? Oh, come on. Oh, that was my elbow cracking that time. It's going, come on. Oh, it's so close. Oh, we're in position. Woo! Right, pop the bolts back in and we'll move on to the next one. Right, the back one is in now. I've cracked off. Oh, something fell straight on my eye then. Didn't even touch anything. Yeah, so I've cracked off all these ones so I can explain to you how I've done them. Right, new plan. I'm sorry if you can't see, but I've run out of battery on my light because I didn't charge it overnight like an idiot. But this brace, the bracket we're going to take off with the mounting, we're going to do it a different way. I should really reattach it in, but I'm just going to leave it dangling and let it come out if it needs to. But this brace here is only attached by 4 bolts, 2 at one end, 2 at the other. Oh, and there's one tiny one that's attached to a coolant pipe up there, which I can easily take off because it's only like a holding bracket. So I'll undo that. Well, first thing first, I'm going to try and rattle gun these massive 17mm bolts, see if they come any looser. That's so naughty. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Oh. Okay guys, I hope you can see. That's the bar there that it was taken out. That's the bracket that I took out, and I've put it back in and tightened these bolts back up. As you can see, I'm sorry I'm using my phone light. I've put the polybushes in there. They're in snug as a bug in a rug. Now we're gonna put some more washing up liquid on the sides of that and on that bracket as well. Try and lift it up into there. There might be a lot of pressure. If so, then we'll use the jack to raise it into it, because the engine didn't move when I took this mount off, luckily. So I didn't need the jack there, so I can use it for this instead if I need to. So let's line it up and see what's what. Oh, and I didn't have to take that bracket off because I just pushed the pipe through it, and we'll push it back in and we'll put it back on. Get them bolts in. Yeah, I highly recommend taking this bar off. A bit more time, but it's so much easier. Right, so this is the following day again. Everything's back in place, they're all in, the bar's back in. I've just put the under tray on after I got home from work today. Car's back on the ground. Let's do a first initial reaction to the kind of vibrations that I've been prompted that we might get. So, look at this. Can you see them paw prints there? Every day. I'm gonna have to put some repellent down. Anyway, we're out of gear, handbrakes on. I've been told it vibrates loads. Ooh. So, yeah, there's definitely steering wheel. I can feel it. Not like a mad vibration, just like a rumble. I can feel it, like the connection to it's a lot stronger. I can feel it in my seat a lot stronger. It's like a buzz. It's more of a buzz than a vibration. The buzz of the engine. I kind of like it to be fair, because you can feel every sound. And the vibration changes in the pitch difference. with the engine. I don't know what it's gonna be like on road, so I'll stop this video now. I've got to get back on the road next week when this goes back to area to get the alignment re-sorted since we buggered it up fitting the clutch. So I'll skip to them with the GoPro and give you an overall feel of it. He never did film that drive after the alignment. In fact, he never drove it again. Well, that's a lie. He did, and it were mint. So yeah, I forgot to film leaving Area Motorsport, I do apologise. But the car has been driven hard since then, which you will have seen if you watched the MIMS video that I did later on this year. Earlier on this year, hopefully it's not next year, a while back. So I've literally edited up to the point and realised I'd not filmed it. So I need to give you my conclusion and thoughts to having the inserts in the car. Now it's hard to pinpoint the differences between having the mod because so much was done at such a short space of time. We had the stainless steel subframe collars, those Polybush inserts and the alignment all done in quite a close period. But the things that I can pinpoint from having those in is also the new clutch. But I do feel that having the inserts in did help a small amount with gear changes and things like that, because obviously it's keeping the engine sturdier when it comes to high revs and letting on and off revs. It's not jerking the engine as much because there's not as much play in the mounts. I feel like you feel the rev of the engine a lot rawer through your feet, through your hands, because the vibrations are being transmitted more, which I personally feel better about, and I feel like it helps when it comes to you being responsive with the car, and it also makes you feel a bit more connected, especially in like a higher pace situation like the track footage that you've just seen. So all in all, as a daily, unless you're doing track sessions here and there, or you don't mind that you're building a bit more track focused car for the road and you don't mind the vibrations, because at lower revs, if you're revving past a certain point, there is like a vroom, 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 like a resonance point that will vibrate, and you'll hear it like in the dash for like a slight seconds. But if you can cope with that, and it will bed itself in after a bit, then it is a worthy mod to get. And once you know how to do it, it's not too difficult. I feel like I'd be confident doing it again now I've done it this time round. If you do want to set yourself, I purchased them from Tegua, so I'll put a link down there, down below. It's actually nearly Christmas now, unbelievably, compared to the start of this video. That's how long it's taken to actually get round to it. And I hope you all have a very safe and a very joyful Christmas, however it may end up being this year. Because I know, yet again, we didn't think we were, but we've had a pretty tough year. I'm not going to go too much into it because I'm kind of getting sick of talking about it, to be fair. But thank you all so much for watching. If you did like this video, if you enjoyed any of my videos, please like and subscribe to the channel. Click the little bell button so it reminds you when a fresh video does come on, so you don't miss any. Drop a comment below if there's any modifications that you might have in line, like you've got sorted out for Christmas or doing in the new year, anything you're looking forward to. And I can't wait to finally get back out there and see you all and speak to you all soon. So for now, stay safe, look after each other, think about everybody else around you, and until next time, like I always say, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.